Hello, hello, peace, peace, peace. Put a one in the chat if you can hear me. Put a one in the chat if you can hear me. Peace, peace, peace. Put a one in the chat if you can hear me. Put a one in the chat if you can hear me. Shout out to everybody in the building. Put a one in the chat if you can hear me. Put a one in the chat if you can hear me. All right, I got ones in the chat. Salute to everybody in the building. This is not gonna be long. You know, I just gotta do this real quick because it's like I said, I gotta finish touching on some things that I said I was gonna touch on. And tomorrow I'm gonna probably be, I forgot what's his name. I'm gonna be on somebody's show. I'll let it be a surprise, but yeah, most likely I'll be on their show. Shout out to you. You said one from Gary, Indiana. Y'all still got no power over there, or y'all better? You guys still got no power over there, or what? Y'all good in there? What's going on? Shout out to everybody in the building. Oh, we could definitely do that. Just email me. Email me, and we could definitely do that. We could definitely do that. You can definitely do that. Just email me. Let's email me, and we could definitely get into that. Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to everybody in the building. I want to start the show off like this. I want to bring some more attention to this issue right here. As you can see on your screen, this is an issue that Afro Think Tank like he put this video out, and he really wants people to watch this, and he really wants people to support this. So I'm going to help give this video some more exposure. I already watched this video, I already liked it, I already shared it. I'm about to go over it right now so we can give more exposure to this topic. So yeah, we're gonna do this right now. Shout out to everybody in the building. We're gonna start it off like this. Make sure y'all supporting the stream any way I can. Thumbs up, sharing it, liking it, PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, all the above, all taken, all money good. But yeah, we definitely gonna get into this. Shout out to everybody in the building.
What's going on, everybody? This is Afro Think Tank. As a Pan-African and a pro-Black man, it's my duty to bring to light those within my African or Black community who need to get a message out. And the people who need to get their message out today are the women of Ethiopia. The women of Ethiopia, which is in Africa, so everybody can know that the country of Ethiopia is in Africa, so we're talking about African people, right, of a specific country called Ethiopia on the east of Africa. They are suffering from an epidemic of the abuse of women, the disenfranchisement of women, the rape and murder of women and little girls. I'd be telling y'all in some of my previous videos that America does have evil, right? And we can be an evil empire, but we got to remember that there's more evil out there, even if they're not as powerful as the most powerful evil elements of this world. And in Ethiopia, just like many places around the world, there are evil men doing evil things when they can get away with it. And in Ethiopia, men can get away with abusing women because the institutions that they have created is built to benefit the man and not the woman. Very similar to white supremacy, how white supremacy in America is built and structured to benefit in every way possible the white male. Well, in Ethiopia, the institutions of discrimination is to discriminate against the woman, the black woman. And as a Pan-African, anybody that's hurting my woman is the enemy of Pan-Africanism, is the enemy of black unity, because we can't unify with just men. Black women are a majority of the black black women. Black women.
I'm gonna give them a chance to speak. Yes, black women are the majority of our race, and on top of that, even if they wasn't, we can't allow nobody to go on hurting black women, because it's like I'm seeing a lot of like bozo-ness. That's another reason why I hate this manosphere, red pill stuff. Not everybody who's red pill is the same as manosphere and gender warring and hating women, especially like hating black women. But that's another problem with this stuff, that it starts spreading, and then it goes to other countries, and then stuff that wasn't happening before or wasn't a big deal before is now becoming a big deal. Granted, this issue that Afro Think Tank is talking about, not necessarily new, but it ain't necessarily old either. So yeah, let's get back to this.
Women are the majority of us on this planet. Therefore, if my black woman is in danger and I'm a black man, I'm in danger, because me and the black woman come together. When a black woman is hurt, I'm hurt. When a black woman is stressed out, I'm stressed out. There's no separation. So whenever I see black women in stress, it's my duty as a black man to highlight it, even if that woman is an Ethiopian and not an African American, even if that black woman is a Afro-Iranian or Afro-Palestinian or Dominican or Afro-Brazil. It doesn't matter what kind of black she is. She's a woman and she's black. Therefore, it's my job as an African, as a black man, to support them in their liberation for, in their fight for liberation, in their fight for freedom. We can't expect the rest of the world to liberate the black body, to respect the black body, when the black body don't respect the black body. We can't expect for Africa to be liberated when we still have half of Africans still trying to subjugate the other half, when they find time in between being subjugated by somebody else. How can we ask for liberation in Africa when we still don't liberate our women from the barbaric practices of feudalism, for the barbaric practices of ancient times, from the barbaric practices of Christianity and Islam? Now, which human construct is doing this to our women? Is it under the guise of Christianity? I guarantee you there's some Christians in Ethiopia under the guise of Christianity that subjugate and molest little girls, just like Christianity does everywhere, right? I guarantee you that the Muslims in Ethiopia are utilizing Islam, right, to molest little girls and boys, like we know that they do around the world, right? And I guarantee you there's also using some traditional African spiritual systems and religions to justify the abuse of little girls, inspired by white Europeans and those Arabs, who some of them are mixed with. Because just like I'm, as an African American, I have some European mixture in me. A lot of you East Africans, including you Ethiopians, y'all have a lot of that Arab in you. And y'all bring a lot of those Arab traits of demonetizing the woman, of belittling the woman, of treating the woman like she's less than a dog. That's one thing that the Arabian Peninsula has given to the African. The African used to respect and honor and worship its woman as the vessel that bring upon life to this earth. Now look at the influence of the Asian, Arabic, and the Christian religions have created a man that is not a man, but just a vessel for white and Arab supremacy. They have created an African man that will subjugate his African woman with the oppressor. They've created an African man that will subjugate the African woman with the Arab invader, with the British invader. You have created an African man who will allow white Europeans to come and invade and rape and murder and pay for the destruction and dehumanization of the African woman. You have created an African who will allow Arabs to come in and subjugate and steal and belittle the African woman.
Yeah, this is crazy. Shout out to everybody in the building. But yeah, there's a lot of bad stuff going on. And he's right. A lot of people are doing a lot of bad things under the guise of a lot of stuff. Like, so it's like you really can't just say, oh, it's just this thing or that thing. Because it's like people are doing very bad things under the guise of anything. Like you can do bad things under the guise of anything. Like you just like one of the Epstein boys got like what 200 years in prison and in Haiti because he was using like orphanages to try to not try but was molesting up the kids, and they found out about him. Yeah, like orphanages are a good thing, but he used an orphanage to do a bad thing. Shout out to everybody in the building. Yes, that is very unfortunate, and it's like that, and it's looking like it's like that around the world, and it's like that must change. I'll leave it at that much. That must change. But yeah, let's keep it going.
At some point, we got to realize as black men that we allow other men to come and do things to our women that we wouldn't want done to our mothers and our daughters. We have to realize that we are also part of the problem, and we tend to fall into the lower vibrations of supremacy in whatever manner it manifests itself into subjugating the woman, the black woman. And I'm gonna tell you right now, Africa will never be free until we free our black woman the way she used to be free when we were thriving, when we had organized and complex societies that was the envy of the world. That's when we allowed our black women to be equal members of the human existence and giving them the respect and honor that they deserve. And we don't take advantage that we are physically stronger than them to overlord on them. Just because we are physically stronger than them doesn't mean that we're supposed to overlord and dominate them in every aspect. Yes, we do have roles. There are gender roles for a reason, but we have, as of late, we have taken umbrage. We have taken too many privileges with those roles to the point to where it now has become toxic, unusable, unmanageable, and no longer applicable to a decent life. So as an African American, I support the Ethiopian women for their fight for liberation. I support their fight for freedom and justice. And I hope that one day the Ethiopian man can evolve to love the Ethiopian woman the way they used to love each other as African man and woman before the influences of Christianity and Islam, Asian and European religions, which are abominations and carbon copies of African spiritual and religious systems that has completely and totally destroyed the African continent and the African man's mind. We need to get back to who we are and be in our own frame and stop trying to fit in somebody else's frame because it does not work. Anyway, you guys tell me what you think in the comment section. It's Afro Think Tank. Learn something, teach something. I'm out.
You're probably
Yo, yes. Shout out to the bro Afro Think Tank, man. Yeah, he always teaching. I don't know if I agree with that part about like it's the religions that are making people do this, because it's a lot of people who learn a lot of bad things from white people but are not Christians. Just like it's a lot of black people who learn a lot of bad things from Muslims, and they are not Muslims. I mean, excuse me, Arabs, but they are not Muslims. And like he said too earlier, people are using like African spirituality to do some bad things right now. So yeah, that's all I would say. Because I saw like a situation with this sister talking about how some guy came to her village and he paid the it's not, I don't know, a bride price and whatever, and he told the father he was gonna get married and whatever, and then he basically like, oh, we moving away, and then he moved up, then they moved, and he was like, oh, you're basically my sex slave now, you're not even my wife, you're just a slave, I own you, you got to do whatever I could say. And again, that's using and abusing some ancient African practices. So yeah, that's what I would say about that. Matter of fact, let's watch a little bit of this, because I don't know if I could show too much of this, because like when it's other people content, it'll get clipped and whatever the case may be for the stream. But yeah, let's see some of this. Let's see some of this.
wondering why so many Ethiopians are changing their profile pictures to green. It is because we are trying to bring attention to what is happening to women and girls across Ethiopia, and we're demanding that their safety finally be treated like the national crisis that it is. Heaven was only 7 years old. Kanani was thrown from a 5th floor building. Ikram and Lisa were both raped and killed. Zodu was dragged and crushed by a car after saying no. These are 5 different women and girls with 5 different stories, but they represent a much bigger accurate and terrifying pattern of violence against women and girls in Ethiopia. Some of these cases have dragged through the courts for years. Some were closed without any explanation, and for other cases, no investigation was even opened. During the war in the Ethiopian region of Tigray alone, researchers estimated that over 300,000 women and girls were victims of conflict-related sexual violence. And this is not something that has affected only one region. Conflict-related sexual and gender-based violence has affected women and girls all across Ethiopia. And the violence does not begin or end with war. Ethiopia's own data shows that 1 in 3 ever married women has experienced physical or sexual violence from an intimate partner. So when you see these green profile pictures, understand what they represent and what is behind them. How many women have to be assaulted, raped, abused, or killed before their safety is treated with the urgency that it deserves? That is why we are making one specific demand. We demand the Ethiopian government formally declare violence against women and girls, including femicide and sexual violence, a national crisis requiring an immediate whole of government emergency response. And this is where I need your help. I have tagged the woman who's leading this campaign, so please make sure to follow her and continue keeping up with the work that's being done. There's also a petition linked in my bio, and I'm asking every single person watching this to take 1 minute to go sign it. I'm also asking you guys to change your profile picture to the campaign image so we can continue raising awareness. Share these women's stories, share this campaign, and ask people around you to sign the petition. We cannot bring all the women and girls we have lost back, but we can refuse to let their names disappear, and we can demand better for the women and girls who are still here. Please sign the petition, change your profile picture, and help us make this campaign impossible to ignore.
Did you guys hear?
Okay, I definitely will be doing that, and I suggest everybody else do that. Change your profile pic and all that other stuff. But yeah, shout out to the bro Afro Think Tank, always coming with some good stuff, some good stuff. Shout out to him. Shout out to everybody in the building. Yes, Afro Think Tank is a brilliant voice, a brilliant voice. But again, I don't know if I could play too much of this, and I don't want to get hit with the trademark or whatever, copyright, whatever the case may be. But I want to go on to this. Let me share this. Share this on my screen. Shout out to the Black Merlin. He sent me this. This for all you who don't know, as you can see on your screen, that's Dreamerspro. We just call him Dreamerspro here. I just found out his name is Charles. He got a political channel too. Shout out to the brother, friend of the channel. Salute him all day. I guess he had something to say about the Cameron situation, about Africans, and now some FBA bozo has a problem with it and wants to address it. So yeah, we're going to have to check that out. Salute to everybody in the building. Let's see what this is hitting on.
Alongside Vic Mensa, there's something I want to just make clear quickly. I want to make a quick distinction between FBA and African Americans.
Oh my God, he's doing this now.
The vast majority.
What the hell is this? Oh man, we already starting out bad now. This is really one of the FBA bozos, because I didn't know if this guy was an FBA bozo or not. I just thought he was reacting to it. But anybody who thinks that FBA and African American, Black American is the same thing, you're a bozo. Even Tariq Nasheed, the creator, the owner, and founder of FBA, said foundational Black American is not the same as African American. Foundational Black American is not the same as Black American. Tariq has said that multiple times out his own mouth. Nobody got more authority in defining who is and who is not FBA than Tariq Nasheed. So yeah, let's keep it going.
The vast majority of African Americans do not think about this kind of stuff.
He's trying to say there's good ones and there's bad ones. We've told you several times this is about a lineage. That lineage is one lineage.
All right, we got a bozo in the building. He's definitely, I mean, this dude is definitely a bozo. He said, we told you one time this is about a lineage. Again, on top of that, Tariq has already said FBA is also a delineation movement. A movement got Pacific people. That's like saying that, oh, if you go against delineation, you are talking against all Black people. Is that the case for civil rights? If somebody was anti-civil rights, were they going against all Black people in America? Because if that's the case, wouldn't the Honorable Elijah Muhammad have been anti-Black? For that, if that was the case, there was plenty of Black people who didn't believe in integration. It's the same thing right now. let's say, for example, FBA was an ethnicity, because again, they keep saying lineage. Can't be a lineage. A lineage is a bloodline, and lineage and ethnicity is not interchangeable. But let's say, for example, FBA was a lineage. An ethnicity. If I say I have a problem with the delineators and all these people talking about delineation, that cannot be seen as an attack on all black people. That could not be seen as an attack on all FBAs. Couldn't. You said, what is the FBA ideology? The FBA ideology is the ADOS ideology. That's what we call it. ADOS. It's the ADOS ideology. FBA comes out of ADOS. It's a splinter group. It's a splinter group. They have the same ideology. It's just that Tariq kind of tweaked it a little bit, where he made it less political, more xenophobic, and then he added a bunch of nonsense, pseudo historical nonsense in it. That's why we call them a cult. See, ADOS was the hate group. Then Tariq created FBA, which transcended group. They are full-blown cult. Full-blown cult. But shout out to Congru in the building. He just sent 500 jewels. He just set it off. Much appreciated. Thank you. I'll take the watermelon. Everybody, you already know. Support the stream any way you can. Support me with a fire emoji. Support me with a super chat. Help me reach my goal. Cash App, Venmo. You see it pinned in the comment section. You can hit that up. But yeah, let's get back to this.
So people are coming out of the woodworks these days saying anything and everything about FBA, from Tasha K to Deontay Kyle to other people. But yesterday morning, I just happened to watch this video from a guy named Charles Sabansi. This guy has a whole other channel that's purely about sports, where he talks about LeBron James, Bronny James, Stephen A. Smith, you know, stuff like that.
Yep. That's how we found them. We found the brother, Dreamerspro, friend of the channel,
on a regular basis. But for some reason, he wants to get into politics and he wants to talk about things. So he started another channel with his name, Charles Sabansi. Here's what I think. As you can see, the sports channel is way more successful, 255,000 subscribers versus the 49,000 he has over here. He talks about more political topics, social, cultural commentary.
Oh, like, is that supposed to be a knock against him? Because first of all, I think the other channel, Dreamerspro channel, was older than his political channel. That's one. Two, everybody knows that you could get more followers talking about sports than you could do than talking about politics. That's not a knock. That's not a knock. Unless you're uniquely bad at talking about sports, you're never going to have a political channel, especially if the political channel started after the sports channel, and the political channel be bigger than the sports channel or even the same size. Nonsense. This is another. This got to be another FBA grifter right here. Got to be another FBA grifter. You can't make this up. Another grifter.
But what was disturbing about this video? This man, as you'll see, for some reason, first or second generation Africans in America want to make FBA what they want it to be. I mean, you can look down the list of the Godfreys and Akbar.
Nobody's making FBA what they wanted to be. People are going off what Tariq said FBA was. See, this is again the game. Y'all people are just so much meat riders. Y'all don't even know what y'all following. That's what this is so embarrassing. Because even if it's a grift, I would be too embarrassed to try to jump on such a nonsensical grift. FBA is not an ethnic cultural group. That is a lie. FBA is a trademark hate cult started by Tariq Nasheed, started and owned by him. There is no such thing as FBA. You cannot put FBA on no piece of paper, nowhere. It is not the same thing at all. You cannot put FBA on no piece of paper. You can't show me a government document with the term FBA on it, a medical document, none of these documents. It don't exist. He said, who's going to stop you from claiming FBA? I don't care if you claim FBA. See, that's the thing. Here you go. Like, I don't care if people claim Aboriginal. I don't care if people claim Nubian. There's a group of black people right now claiming to be Atlanteans. You think I care? That has no bearing on my life. I don't care what you claim, what you call yourself. I'm just here to let it be known what FBA is. So if you want to call yourself that, knock yourself out. And then when the time comes, when Tariq dropped the FBA stuff, and then people start getting consequences for repping FBA, you just can't say you didn't know. That's all. That's all. You just can't say you didn't know. When them consequences start getting handed out, nobody can say they didn't know. They can't say they didn't know. They can't say, well, I didn't know. Well, it just meant this. Nobody's going to hear that. It's just not going to go like that. But yeah, let's keep it going.
And so many other people out here, they just can't let us be. They constantly want to dictate what foundational Black Americans are doing and what they should be thinking. They're doing a lot of finger wagging these days, but I think what it is we've uncovered a deep insecurity in a lot of Africans in the USA by simply acknowledging who we actually are. So what this really says is that we've got to recalibrate our relationship. And they're just
we got somebody who said I smell a tether. I know I smell an IDP. It's always these IDPs. It's always these weirdo IDPs coming in here. Don't you you said hit dogs holler. The only person who was hollering when they got hit was the guy who got this guy. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find a picture because we already starting. So let's see. He said hit dogs holler. Can y'all see my screen? Can y'all see the person I highlighted? Let's see. Let's see. I know I always can't find the bigger one, but as you can see, it says to the north. It says to the north up here. Why is this guy going to the north? The white man done killed his brother, and then he got his IDP on and ran away. You are an internally displaced person. Do I gotta play the video explaining your lineage, your true lineage? Getting ran out the South by the white man. That's your true lineage. Like, I don't understand what's wrong with you IDPs. Y'all gotta leave me alone. Y'all gotta do it. Like, y'all gotta do it. You said I don't care if you don't agree with it. That's your ultimate cop-out. Oh, I'm claiming FBA and I'm promoting the xenophobia, but I just don't agree with the levels of xenophobia. And so you can't lump me in with Tariq because I said Tariq is not my leader. I agree with everything Tariq says. I call myself what Tariq told me to call myself, but I don't agree with him. That's not my leader. Like, I don't want to hear that. Like, I got IDPs better come better than that. Shout out to Milton for coming through. Milton Allen for coming through with the 15. Much appreciated, bro. I'm happy you finally caught a live. I'm happy. I'm happy too. I know. I heard a lot of people don't like his takes on basketball. I'm personally a LeBron fan, so yeah, like, you know how he be going in on LeBron, but like otherwise than that, he cool. Though the brother's cool, but it's just that, you know, I can't tolerate no xenophobia against them. Because like I said, he a friend of the channel. And on top of that, I don't tolerate no xenophobia against nobody, whether they're a friend of the channel or not. It's like, if you don't like his takes on basketball, that's one thing. But to use that as a justification to try to be xenophobic or justify your hate, nah, I'm not going for that. But shout out to you. Thank you for the the 15 again. Let's get back to this.
Just gonna have to get used to it.
Hey, what's up, everyone? I want to welcome you guys to another episode of Here's What I Think with your host, Charles Savansi. So let's get into this topic here. So this is something that I've been watching from afar for quite some time now. And today I said, you know what, let me address this today. I won't make many shows of this in the future, but I said, let me just give my 2 cents on this whole back and forth here.
So he's talking about Vic Mensa and Cameron's discussion, which is another situation where Cameron says he's one thing and Vic Mensa comes along for some reason and decides he can tell Cameron what he is and what he...
No, Vince Mensa came along because Cameron was disrespecting Africans. That's why he came along. Stop. Let's see, this is the game. Y'all FBAs can't never stand on business and just say what it is. Y'all got to pretend that it's something else. That people are coming after y'all for one thing, and then y'all try to remix it and pretend it's something else. Y'all are cowards. Cowards. This is why I have no respect for y'all. Y'all cowards. Y'all can't even stand on business. Like, this is not, like, this is so cowardly. Trying to say, oh no, they coming after us for because they trying to dictate who we are. Whatever the case may be. Whatever. Sound dumb. You said if I don't care, why am I talking about it? I'm talking about it because FBA is a hate cult. I'm exposing people and letting people know, hey, don't call yourself that. That's a hate cult. Like, don't you understand that? I'm one of the biggest reasons why this FBA stuff never caught on and never gonna catch on. Because remember, y'all got a lot of people early on by pretending y'all was just about reparations. I was the one who exposed that wasn't true. You notice how nobody in a position of power claims FBA. You notice nobody who gets money other than just being on the internet all day claims FBA. You do notice that, right? As long as you know. Shout out to Henry Harris for coming through with the 250 joules. Laughing disco. I take it. Thank you. Much appreciated. Make sure y'all shout out everybody supporting the stream.
Isn't. I'm just going to let you know, creator to creator, you don't run shit over here.
So recently, a video of Cameron.
I'm gonna let you know, creator. You don't run FBA don't run shit. This is the problem. Y'all FBAs keep acting like y'all got so much power. Y'all have no power. This go back to the conversation yesterday when I keep saying FBAs show us you got power for like 10 minutes. Like, save the black community for 10 minutes. Show black immigrants that you the boss for 10 minutes. Just for 10 minutes. You don't even got to do it every day, all day. Just for 10 minutes, show us the power of FBA. Show us the power of the delineation movement. The movement that y'all keep claiming, that y'all keep saying y'all delineated, but y'all keep talking about how y'all gonna delineate. When are y'all gonna delineate? When are y'all gonna delineate? No, I don't like FBA. FBA is a hate cult. Started and owned by Tariq Nasheed. I never bang with FBA. FBA is trash. FBA is MAGA. Like, you can't make this up. I could tell I never saw this dude before. I only saw him because the Black Merlin sent this to me. Shout out to you, Jay Hersey, for being in the building. But I went and doubted that he's a glazer. You got to be some type of glazer if you're sitting around calling yourself FBA. You are some type of grifter, weirdo, idiot, glazer. Got to be. You said, do I think LeBron is better than Kobe or Michael Jordan? I don't think they could even be comparable. But if somebody feels like LeBron is better than those people, I could jack it. Like, I think you could make the argument. I think you could realistically make that argument. I don't think it's like some far-fetched thing to say like LeBron is the best player who ever played basketball. I don't. But yeah, let's keep it going. Salute to East Coast Kev in the building. I think you emailed me today. I don't know. I don't remember. Shout out to you, bro. Yeah, let's keep it going.
The musician Cameron went viral where it looked like he was saying African stink, right? But
he didn't.
Cameron said that he wasn't saying African stink. He's saying that's what one of his friends said, or someone told him that African stink, right?
That's what happened.
So he was laughing about it. Then Vic Mensa, who I just recently discovered not too long ago, the guy is really good at articulation and he's quite entertaining. Anyway, so I just stumbled upon his video on Instagram of him responding to Cameron. It got a lot of views, right? And I thought that was that. But then Cameron then responded to Vic Mensa on another episode of his show. He responded to him. So then today, I saw a video.
Oh, Cameron responded to Vic Mensa? I didn't even know that. And for all y'all who was in the building, when I did do the show with where Cameron was first talking, see, even Charles said it. Cameron said his friend told him African stink. He didn't say that African stink. He was saying what his friend said. Because remember, the conversation was about Cameron not calling himself African. And the friend who was trying to argue him down about it, he basically exposed him for saying that you trying to argue me down about this, but wasn't you just saying something about then you say you was in Africa and they all stink? So I'm happy that nobody could say that I was like misrepresenting that, because people were saying, oh, you're a fan of Cam, that's why you trying to like cover for him. And I'm like, I would never cover for nobody being xenophobic. I would never cover for xenophobia. So I'm happy Charles is saying the same thing I was saying about that situation. Shout out to the Black Maryland in the building. We're coming through with the $4.99. Thank you. Like, yeah, I would have never even knew about this if it wasn't for you, bro. Thank you. That's why, again, what I said, my DMs and all that other stuff is always open. Always open. It's always open. You said Cameron used what his friend said to justify how he really felt. I don't know if I could jack that. But like I said, I could only go off what he said. Because I know again, as a fan of Cameron got a crazy mouth. If he really felt that way, he would have just said it. And then that would have been that. Cameron done said way worse stuff out his mouth before. About kids and all that. About women, kids, black people, all that. Way worse stuff than that. I don't think Cam would have bit his tongue on that. Saying Africans stink. I don't think Cam would have bit his tongue on that. I'm going to keep it a thou with you. If that was what he really meant, he would have just said it. Cam wouldn't have bit his tongue on that. I've been listening to Cam too long. I know he don't bite his tongue. I ain't never seen Cam bite his tongue before. On nobody. Friends, nobody.
Vic Mensa on The Breakfast Club. And he was on there addressing his dispute with Cameron. And for those of you who don't know, he's also starting a new podcast. He has Chance the Rapper and all of these people showing up there. So he addressed in a very...
Which is also more of the manipulation as well. We'll get into that. Why Vic Mensa is starting a podcast all of a sudden. Now that he's done these couple viral videos, now he decides he needs to start a podcast and push particular talking points.
What's wrong with starting a podcast? What's wrong with being viral and then starting a podcast to push the line for what you went viral for? That's not like what's wrong with that? If I got a message and I'm telling people my message and I'm going viral speaking that message, why wouldn't I get a podcast to continue pushing that message in a more structured platform? Why wouldn't I do that?
Figure
intelligent way. I have to say, the kind of back and forth between him and Cam, and he really went into detail about what he thinks lies at the root of the issue here. So, what are my thoughts about this? Again, I said this from the onset, or maybe I didn't, but I'm gonna say it now, that this is a very, very nuanced conversation.
It is.
Definitely is. Oh, and yes, see. You just proved my point. You said Cam said smashing white girls is reparations. He will say anything and stand on it. You know how disrespectful that is to the black community to say reparations for slavery is having sex with a white girl? You know how disrespectful that is to say that? That's why I said if he really felt that he don't want to be called Africans because he don't want to be connected to them because they stink, he would have just said that. Cam will say anything. He gonna speak his mind. He ain't biting his tongue for nobody. I done seen Cam say things like wild up friends, family members, and all that. Telling people like, yo, if I say I'm asleep, don't hit me up. I don't care if you see I'm still online. Don't write me. I'm talking about completely reckless. I watched Killer Season when he had the scene when he spit on a little girl. I seen when Cameron told the other little girl, stop calling me uncle because I'm not really your uncle. Your mother just told you that because she used to give me head all the time. That's why you always saw me around, but I am not your uncle. Don't call me that. He told that to not a grown woman, a teenage girl. She might not even have been a teenager. She might have been like 12 or something like that, or 10. Cam will not bite his tongue. I'm not going hard for him. I'm just reiterating what Dreamerspro said. Like I said, Cam said he's not an African. His friend tried to argue with him about it. Then he said, how are you trying to argue with me about this when you said Africans stink? That's it. You're the one arguing, talking about Cameron really meant one thing. If Cameron really meant that, he would have just said it. Ain't nobody can convince me that Cameron really meant that like that, and he didn't just say it. Because what would have happened to Cameron if he would have just came out and said, I'm not an African because they stink. I don't want nothing to do with them because they stink. Would Cameron have lost money? No. Would Cameron have lost followers? No. Would Cameron have been off the air canceled? No. So it makes no logical sense for him to bite his tongue with that. None. It makes no logical sense. You too, Vegeta. Cameron didn't say a magical friend. The light-skinned dude, I forgot his name, on the show is the one who said it. The one who was arguing with Cam about him saying he's not an African is the one who Cameron said, you trying to argue with me about this? You told me Africans stink. And again, I'm not going to argue with nobody about this because if I have not spoken to Dreamerspro, shout out to Charles. I keep calling him Dreamerspro. Shout out to Charles. I haven't spoken to him, but me and him is saying the same thing. We on the same page with this one. Like nobody got to lie. That's mythology right now, that somebody's lying. Shout out to Kevin. Shout out to Mr. K in the building. I think so. I think you're the one who told me about that channel and I subscribed to it. I was supposed to be covering that too. Thank you for the £5 too.
And number two, I think it's something that I'm just being real with you. I don't remember conversations like this taking place 5, 10, 15 years ago. I don't. Now, full disclosure, let me give you guys my background.
Of course, because they didn't. FBA was started in 2000 and 2019. And ADOS first started like getting momentum in 2018. So yeah, that's why you don't remember conversations like this like 10 years ago. Because they didn't exist. They didn't exist. They didn't exist at all.
So everyone knows. Born in the United States, first generation American. Mom is Sierra Leonean. Dad is Nigerian. Dad never spent a day. He didn't live in America. My dad actually wanted me to go back to Nigeria.
That means you're a second generation immigrant. Because for all you don't know, if you're born in a country to immigrant parents, that makes you second generation, not first. You're the first generation to be born here, but you're a second generation immigrant. Let's keep it going.
So you heard that. Sierra Leonean and Nigerian. This is informing what's going to follow here.
To live with him, but my mom said, no, you stay with me. I've lived in West Africa, lived in Sierra Leone, lived in Nigeria, grew up in the States, born in Maryland, really grew up in New York City.
Shout out to Maryland.
Lived in New York. So I've lived everywhere, right? And I've met people from all walks of life. So I like to view myself as a global citizen. And to me, I wear it as a badge of honor because it allows me to be quite open-minded here. The point I'm making is this, however. I noticed that this wasn't a thing 5, 10 years ago.
Okay.
This conversation really started when...
But it's a thing now. Is it not? This conversation...
Exactly. I'm happy you just acknowledged that. So you just made yourself look stupid. You just acknowledged that it wasn't a thing 10 years ago, but it's a thing now. Which means it came out of nowhere and it don't deserve no respect. You just acknowledged that it came out of nowhere. So this is supposed to be a lineage. How is a lineage starting less than 10 years ago and it's supposed to be respected? How are we supposed to respect something that's supposed to be a lineage that goes back centuries, but only just started getting talked about less than 10 years ago? But we supposed to respect that? We supposed to respect that. You just acknowledge. Like, I can't believe this. Like I can't believe this. Like this is crazy. He just said that. I'm about to bring that back. Shout out to everybody in the building. Make sure you're hitting the like button.
Quite open-minded here. The point I'm making is this, however. I noticed that this wasn't a thing 5-10 years ago.
Okay.
This conversation really started when...
But it's a thing now. Is it not? This conversation is a thing now. And people are going to have to get used to the fact that it's a thing.
This conversation really started when...
So again, he just acknowledged the quote unquote lineage. So let me get this straight. Y'all started y'all pumping something that's less than 10 years old. And if somebody says they don't agree with it, they are now magically disrespecting tens of millions of black people in America and disrespecting over 500 years worth of history for talking against something that y'all started less than 10 years ago that came out of the thin blue sky. Y'all can't connect this FBA ADO stuff to nothing in our history. Y'all literally just made it up. But somehow us not agreeing with it is going against the lineage. Quote unquote lineage. You can't make this up. You can't make this up. Oh, shout out to A-Frame for coming through with the $10. Much appreciated. Oh, you know I'm going to keep doing that. I'm going to keep doing that. I ain't never going to stop doing that. Shout out to you for coming through with the 10. Make sure y'all saluting bro for coming through with the 10. Make sure y'all saluting everybody who came through. But yeah, I'm never going to stop exposing them. Because look what I'm doing right now. This bozo just acknowledged that FBA is something completely new, unattached to all black history, all other black people, and didn't even exist 10 years ago. But he wants people to respect it like it's just been here this whole time.
Trump got into office.
No, it was before
and it
that.
really picked up during the second term. And I think
no, it wasn't before that. Like you just acknowledged it's less than 10 years. It's not even 10 years old. So how could it have been before that? How could it have been before that? It couldn't have.
Before that.
With Trump coming to office, it brought in the culture wars. And it was something that's very, very lucrative for people online. The culture wars. Any kind of culture war. Getting rid of the immigrants. You have the far right.
That's funny. Somebody sitting up there with 255,000 on one channel and 45,000 on another channel is talking about how lucrative this conversation is, when most of the FBA channels, even most of the channels that discuss this type of thing, are not even monetized for the most part. But
a lot of those channels that are not quote unquote monetized because they're working on getting monetized. You just made it seem like you just start a YouTube channel and you're automatically monetized. No, you got to work towards monetization. You got to work to it. And even if you hit all the milestones, they can still reject you. There's no guarantee that you're going to get the monetization. So you can't act like that's not the case. And you can't act like attention ain't a currency all of its own, too. A lot of people got channels blew up just talking about black immigrants all day, talking about FBA all day. Can't make this up. Whoa. What you mean by that? What do you mean by that? You're going to have to clear that up. What you mean by that? Yeah, let's get back to this.
It's lucrative to make these discussions is what we're hearing. You see what I'm saying? You see how perspective shifts just because you spent some time in Africa and you have direct African lineage. Somehow you're an expert on this subject, but we're going to keep cooking.
Getting rid of the immigrants. You have the far right drifting even further right to the pain. It brought in the culture wars. And it was something that's very, very lucrative for people online. The culture wars. Any kind of culture war. Getting rid of the immigrants. You have the far right drifting even further right to the pandering to them. You have the black MAGAs. Like it's just there's always something to fight about today. And this is just another thing. Now, If you look at the title of our show, I wrote The Internet War. Why did I say that? I say that because I very much believe that this is a thing that exists on the internet. And in real life, people are not wrestling with these issues.
They absolutely are. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but
No, they not. No, they not. No, they not. FBA has been around for what? Like I said, it started in 2019. So FBA has been around for almost 8 years now. I don't even know of 8 examples of people outside repping FBA. This is an internet thing. It doesn't exist in real life. This is why we got, this is exactly the reason why the community looks the way it does. Because if it did, it wouldn't look the way it does. Like, come on now. Come on. Y'all just made this up. Y'all just made this up and don't exist in real life. Y'all not running around repping FBA. Y'all not running around demanding that the government put FBA on the census or demanding to be able to put in foundational Black American or anything. Y'all not doing that. I think he said direct African lineage. I don't know if he said indirect. I think he said direct. But let's keep it going.
fact that these conversations are happening online, they most certainly are happening in real life. And we just gonna have to live with it. People have gotten some information and they've made some different decisions. Once again, I'm grown. The last I checked, I'm grown. I can deal with reality. Sounds like a lot of other people can't.
People are busy trying to pay.
Like, again, this dude sounds weird. I don't even understand how, like, again, this is just terrible. But anyway, to the person who keeps talking about, oh, FBA didn't just start, whatever. FBA is a trademark hate cult by Tariq Nasheed. That's it. Trademark. That's it. That's it. Get over it. FBA is trademark. Don't exist. Tariq owns it. Y'all gotta stop. Get over it. Y'all, anybody claiming FBA is owned by Tariq Nasheed, literally owned by Tariq Nasheed. You know what's so crazy? Meechie X used to own y'all because when the FBA stuff first started dying out, Tariq let the trademark lapse. He didn't even like fully fill it out because he just didn't even fully go through with it all the way. He let it lapse. No, he went through with it, but he didn't keep up with it because he was like, well, this FBA stuff is starting to die off, so I don't care about it. Just like he did with the Hidden History Museum. He let the trademark for that lapse. And then Meechie X bought it up, and then he tried to fight her in the court for it to get it back. And she gave it back to him. Like, come on now. Y'all got to stop. Like, come on. Like the dude said, FBA is less than 10 years old. I'm happy he said that. Let me see. Shout out to Fahima in the building. Oh, shout out to Fahima in the building. Exactly. Like I know you know about the situation going on in Gary, Indiana right now. I know you know about all the bad stuff that's happening all around this country to our people. But they want to argue about this nonsensical FBA nonsense. Like, you can't make this up. Like, you cannot make this up. Yeah, let's let this bozo get back to it. Let me let him get back to this.
Pay their bills, take care of their kids.
They are
advance in their careers and actually build their lives. I don't think that people sit down and, I don't think there are people in Africa sitting down and saying, man, I hate African Americans or people in Africa and in the States.
Have you been to Twitter? Have you been to X? You've never been to X. See, this is the thing. People have this conversation with none of the information. Have you been to Clubhouse? There are people in Africa who have never stepped foot in America that talk about Black Americans on a regular basis. Don't get me started. See, this is what Tasha K was missing. She's missing context.
Everyday people talk about, man, they're not thinking about them. People are living their lives. People don't have energy for this. People are thinking of how to take care of themselves and feed themselves. And that's what I think people are predominantly focused on. Now, I want to make a quick distinction here. And there's a reason I put Tariq Nasheed's face on the thumbnail. I was going to put Cam.
You see that? Talking about monetizing for views. He was like, there's a reason I put somebody who's not even in the conversation of Cameron and Vic Mensa on my thumbnail because I want to target that person.
One, it makes sense to do that because Tariq is the founder, owner, and creator of FBA. What did you say? The term is young, but the people... See, this is what I'm just saying. The dude just acknowledged that FBA is not even 10 years old. These conversations are not even 10 years old. So by definition, they are not attached to anything that came before them. This is something completely new. Like he keeps saying, this is something new. Y'all got to get used to it. He's saying this is something new. See, this is the problem. Y'all, you ain't got no brain in your head. You're not acknowledging that this is something new. You are trying to attach it to everything else. See, this is an FBA tactic. You attack FBA because it's something new. You identify it as such. And then to deflect from that, people will say, well, it's not actually new. It's connected to 400 years of history. There's 40 million of us. Since when? Since when? Shout out to TB in the building for coming through with the 5. Much appreciated. From Africa to some of us came. Of course he did that because he's a cult member. He's a grifter. He can say whatever he wants because, again, FBAs are still going to follow him regardless. The FBAs are still going to follow him regardless. It doesn't matter what he say. Doesn't matter what he do. The FBAs are going to follow him regardless. That's it. Exactly. So now Twitter and Clubhouse is real life. Like this is what we just was talking about. Like these people got no brain in their head. He keeps saying that Charles is talking about real life, and he keep mentioning social media. Like, give some real life examples of this stuff. Let's keep it going.
Nasheed. You see where this is going?
But the reason I didn't put Cam is because I said that's not really at the core of the issue here.
Oh, really?
So I put Tariq Nasheed's face on there.
Oh, so Cam doesn't have his own thoughts. Cam is not an adult to make his own decisions. Cameron.
No, it matters to put Tariq because a lot of the people who are glazing Cameron right now for that situation are FBA bozos. That's the reason. These people sit around and will attach themselves to anything that they see is anti-African or somebody who's speaking against Africa or black immigrants or the black diaspora. It doesn't matter who. They will attach themselves to that person. So yes, it's important for people to know that Tariq is behind that. All those people in the comment section glazing Cameron, talking about, yeah, we ain't Africans. Those are all FBAs. You need to know where they came from. People need to know where they came from. Much. Oh, shout out to Infinite in the building. Thank you for the 199 in pounds. 199 pounds. Whole lot of ones beat a whole lot of nuns any day of the week. You used to debate Solomon. Yes, I had to destroy In the Black before. Yes, I had to destroy them because you know that's what I do. I just be destroying stuff. Thank you for the 199. Whole lot of ones beat a whole lot of nuns any day of the week. Yeah, let's get back to this.
Says what he wants. Last time I checked, he's a grown-ass millionaire. And he's gotten information for where he wanted to get information from his family history. He said, my mama is from Atlantic City. What makes you second guess that? See, this is the problem here. This is the problem here. I don't like this finger wagging from an authority position when you haven't proven to be an authority on anything but talking about Stephen A. Smith and LeBron and Bronny James.
Alongside Vic Mensa. There's something I want to just make clear quickly. I want to make a quick distinction between FB.
Oh, we heard that part already. Shout out to Senora for coming through with the 199. Much appreciated. Oh, yes, it does stand for fear of being African. Shout out to you for that. Definitely does. Definitely does. Wait, talking about somebody said something? Said FBA don't want no black foreigners on their land. FBA don't got no land. What land? FBA don't got no land. FBA don't own nothing. Nobody got to ask nobody nobody calling themselves FBA permission to do anything. Nobody. There is nobody who calls themselves FBA who has any power. They're not in a position of power. They're not even trying to even get in a position of power. Like, nobody got to ask their permission to do nothing. Nothing at all. Oh, shout out to A-Frame for the double up, coming through with another 5. Of course, that's what they do. Mind you, they don't even talk about white people this much. They don't even talk about racist white people this much. They don't. They don't.
FBA and African Americans.
Oh my God, he's doing this now.
The vast majority, the vast majority of African Americans do not think about this kind of stuff.
He's trying to say there's good ones and there's bad ones. We've told you several times this is about a lineage. That lineage is one lineage. But what people are trying to do is they're trying to triangulate. So they'll say FBA, those are the bad ones, and African Americans are the good ones, which is an amorphous term because that includes recent African immigrants. Part of the reason that the delineation conversation came up, but you don't know that. You don't know that foundational Black Americans are left out of counting because of the larger Black populace. So when they say Black people are doing well, and you have several Nigerian immigrants that have careers that pay a certain amount, that pushes up the average, right? But you're not addressing the core group that was asked about. We're talking about Black Americans that have history tied to slavery here in the United States.
Wrong. That's not true. Tariq Nasheed said that FBAs is like Moorish had an ethnogenesis. Moorish explorers, a tiny bit of Africans who was enslaved that came here through the transatlantic slave trade, and millions of Black Aboriginals came together on the plantation and had an ethnogenesis. That's what Tariq said FBA is. You join FBA the same way you join MAGA. See, you tried it. You joined it the same way. Exactly. They don't know what lineage means. They do not know what lineage means. Lineage is a bloodline. That's why I was telling, because at first I was, when they first started doing this, I had to be fair to them. I was like, I'm going to be fair to them because, sometimes people misspeak. So they saying lineage, they might mean to be saying ethnicity. But after they kept saying it, and after I saw how Tariq was using it, and I know where it came from, I said, all right, these guys are just dumb. They're just dumb. They're just dumb. They're just dumb. That's all. Because as you can see on my screen, what does lineage mean? Like I keep telling y'all what lineage means. It's a common ancestor. It's a bloodline. You got to have a common ancestor. See, this is the problem with FBA. They grifted the whole, Tariq grifted the whole ideology from Yvette Carnell. When Yvette Carnell used to use the word lineage, she used it to say, hey, us Black people in America, we are of the same lineage as white people, because the slave master had 2 families. He had a Black family and a white family, which means we're the same lineage. See, in ADOS, the common ancestor to the lineage is the white slave owner. Tariq is an idiot who's just using the word lineage wrong, and he keeps talking about an ethnogenesis between Black Aboriginals, a tiny speck of Africans, and Moorish explorers. Like that's what it's really hitting on. Can y'all still hear me? Put one in the chat if y'all can still hear me. Shout out to 2026 now, coming through with the 10 jewels. Much appreciated. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all still hear me? Put one in the chat if y'all can still hear me. Oh, I'm getting ones. Good. Because I just got a notification that my audio went out. So yeah, we got to work on that right now. Shout out to everybody in the building. Got a notification that the audio went out. We got a notification. So we back. So yeah, let's keep it going. Shout out, salute to everybody supporting the stream any way you can. And remember, you can always hit the PayPal, the Cash App, the Venmo, all that. It's in the pinned comment. Just hit it and just let me. And when you write the note, let me know if you want a shout out or not. Much appreciated to everybody in the building. Let's keep it going. You said what the? I don't. The reason the sad part is FBA has been harassing Native Americans on the internet. They calling them Siberians and all this other stuff. Like they have been doing this. But the funny part about it, FBA won't go to the government with none of this. See, they keep claiming to be these groups of black people. They can go to the government if they really feel they have a strong enough claim, but they won't because again, it's just a grift. Like I heard Dan Calloway, who was basically their Jesus Christ to the Aboriginals at one time before I destroyed him. Well, yeah, before I crucified him and he didn't rise from the dead. He's currently being sued right now. For putting out all this fake information. Can't make this up. But yeah, let's get back to this. Salute to the Nightbot for coming through. Make sure y'all subscribe to all my channels. I have 3 of them. Let me see. Oh, thank you. Much appreciated. And yes, I am growing good. Thank you. And that's all due to support. All the support is how I'm growing so good. Thanks to everybody for all the support. Like I said, support is not just monetary. Support is dropping a comment, making sure you leave a like. Even if you don't got nothing to say, put an emoji in there. That all helps. Hitting that reaction heart in the corner. That all helps towards that engagement helps get the message out there. Yes, exactly. Shout out to Naps in the building. Oh no, I didn't see that. But I could see that happening because if I was one of those racist white administrators in Mississippi, I would let that happen too. See, because I always taught that a lot of this pseudo information that is coming out that is being pushed to black people, a lot of white people have a hand in helping push this stuff out. And you know why? Because it makes you stupider. Because if you believe these things, you're an idiot and you have no use to black people. Nobody has anything to fear from a stupid person other than violence. A stupid person can't do nothing other than get violent. That's it. So as long as you know you can manage the violence that could potentially come from them, you have nothing to fear from them. A stupid person definitely can't get free. Oh, what happened to tangibles? Oh, that's an old slogan. They don't care about tangibles no more. That's old. That was just the hook. Now they could go on to what they really care about. Nobody care about no tangibles. Shout out to the visionary for coming through with the 199. Much appreciated. Whole lot of ones beat a whole lot of nuns any day of the week. Yeah, I'm happy you can't stand them. I can't stand the pretendians neither. Disgusting. But I'm definitely going to look into that. Naps, if you could, a matter of fact, I'm going to have to look for that video myself. But if you got it, you can send it to me, please. I want to see that. But yeah, let's get back to this.
A reason for it. Though you might not want to think there is
on a day-to-day basis. I don't think they spend any time on it. I think, again, people are living their lives and they're focused on what they're focused on. I think, however, FBA is now saying that we are African Americans. So therefore, what's happening is that by you constantly poking fun at immigrants and all of this. Well, what's eventually going to happen is you're going to create creators that now push back on you. And that's ultimately what has been happening. But I want to make that distinction because this is not the target African Americans. Because again, growing up, we never had these conversations, right?
You say you never had this conversation. This conversation's been going on for a very, very long time. You ask anybody with parents, if they're honest with parents from outside the country, what do they say?
Oh my God. This bozo just acknowledged that FBA was a new thing and that people got to get used to it. Now you claiming that it's been going on for a long time. It just went from this is a new thing to now it's been going on for a long time. Like, you can't make this up. It just went from this is a new thing that people got to get used to this. The conversation has been going on for a long time. Anything that's been going on for less than 10 years that got to do with a people, it has not been going on for a long time. Thank you. Salute to Naps. Make sure y'all go subscribe to the bro channel. Let me see. You said why FBA? Why is FBA mentioning black immigrants? Why y'all putting us in y'all business? Inquiring minds want to know. Oh yeah, they do. They definitely do think that. Like, I always give the example with the shirt. Like, where if somebody says, hey, get the guy in the red shirt, and the person thinks like, well, if I just take off the red shirt and I put on a blue shirt, they're not going to get me. It's like, no, they want you. They just using the red shirt as a way to describe you. If you take off the red shirt and put on a blue shirt, they're going to just say, oh, he took off the red shirt. He got a blue shirt on now. Get him. That's all. You said it's a new term. FBA is not a new term. Yeah, it's a new term. And it has no connection to our original terms. FBA and Black American is not the same thing. FBA cannot be attached to none of our Black original terms. None of them. It's not the same thing. Not at all. Shout out to Mick Chillson in the building. Yes, I noticed that. That's why I call him a cult. That's another reason why I call him a cult. That's another reason why I call him a cult. Another reason. What you mean? What's that? You talking to me? I don't know. You can't be talking to me because I don't hate Black people. I love Black people from all over. In fact, that's why I love, Harlem. I love the Harlem Renaissance. I love being from New York because we got Black people from all over in there. The reason why they keep framing it that way is because they claiming that they're not even African. A lot of the FBAs claim that they majority Black Aboriginals. That's it. That's why they keep saying that. Oh, we are American. We ain't got nothing to do with Africa. That's what they. A lot of them are talking about. But yeah, let's keep it going.
Don't hang out with them Black Americans. What is that? That's the seed that starts this conversation a lot of times. When you're hearing foundational Black Americans having conversations, most of the time it is in response to something. But somehow everybody's blind to the spark that started the conversation, the spark that started the issue. And everybody's like blameless. Oh, these crazy Negroes on the internet. Ha. So I'm so glad that's only on the internet and not in real life. Ridiculous.
Never, ever, ever, never. And I grew up in New York City. One of my dudes was from
another problem.
Jethro, he Haitian. Another one of my guys.
What he said, another problem. Again, like I told you, FBA hate cult hates New York. They hate New York. They hate New Orleans. They hate Florida. They hate the Gullah Geechee. They hate the They hate the Indian freemen. They hate us. They hate us. I told y'all about these FBA bozos. See, I'm not stupid. I know exactly where the majority of these FBA bozos is from. These are a bunch of bozos sitting in West Bubblefuck nowhere, crying about issues that they only heard about on the internet. That's how you know FBA is not legit. Because if it was legitimate, it would have started in New York. Like, I'm from Brooklyn. Like, when that dude put up that meme, like I said a couple of days ago, a couple weeks ago, a week or two ago, where he said everybody from Brooklyn is Caribbean or something like that, that's like pretty much a fact. I grew up with like pretty much 9 out of 10, if you saw a black person, they was from the Caribbean or they had some type of Caribbean ancestry. That's how it felt growing up. If any place was gonna start some problems between black people, it would have started there. It would have started there. Can't make this up. Oh, shout out to Justin March. Everybody, Justin March just came through. My first moderator. He just came through and just gifted 20 memberships. Family, if Justin March gifted you a membership, make sure you thank him and make sure you keep it going. Make sure you thank him and make sure you keep it going. Salute, bro. Thank you for all your support. Make sure y'all saluting Justin March, man. He coming through. He coming through like always. Salute, bro. Look, see, we getting people thanking him. Yes. Shout out to you, Shonda. Yep. Salute to Justin March. Salute to everybody who came through and you know, supported the stream. Salute. FBA is not coming to the African American Day Parade. They're gonna say it's not their parade because it got African American in it. And again, FBA is a hate cult. We're not trying to have peace with FBA. They are a hate cult. I'm not jacking nobody calling themselves FBA. That's out. That's out. We're not doing that. Salute, bro. Thank you for coming through with the 2. Whole lot of ones beat a whole lot of nuns any day of the week. Got me halfway to my goal. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Salute. Exactly. Justin March is a Hall of Fame supporter. Hall of Fame. Yes. Matter of fact, New York is the Black Mecca. It is the Black Mecca. Like the whole concept of Black Mecca was people referring to New York. It is the Black Mecca that birthed the other Black Meccas. Shout out to New York. Shout out to New York. But yeah, let's keep. Oh, Nap said he sunned it. So let me go look at that. Let me let this bozo finish up. Because again, we ain't gonna be here all day with this. Salute to the Black Merlin for sending this to me. But this dude is just repeating everything. It's just repeating itself at this point. And he's wrong about everything.
Guys, Trinidadian, Andrew, I guess you'll call him Black American. Like we never had these conversations. We don't have to, like, what do you do? What? Like,
we never had these conversations, really. In New York City, you never had those conversations. You never heard a Black American get called a Yankee in New York City? Okay. All right.
We never had these conversations in New York City, and you're mixing and matching things. He's talking about this whole quote unquote delineation nonsense FBA stuff. We never had these conversations growing up. They didn't exist. Didn't exist.
Now you're just being dishonest.
By talking about this in reality, right? So let me give you guys my take on all of this. My take is simply this. You have a set of people that really hate Africa. And when I say
I'm sorry, I swear I'm gonna let this play, but he is hitting every single cliche. Somehow, now you all hate Africa. The people who are responsible for the Pan-African movement in the first place are Black Americans. But now somehow you hate Africa. That's how it.
That's not true. That's not true. Pan-Africanism started on the slave ship. You obviously don't know what Pan-Africanism is. Can't make this up. Yeah, they just make up stuff. Because mind you, white people call white people from America Yankees. Like Yankee is not a derogatory term. It's not. They see this is what I'm talking about. These is a bunch of people who live in West Bubble fuck nowhere talking about stuff that they heard about on the internet that they don't really understand. That's why they think it's okay to use terms like tether, which is derogatory and a slur, because they think Yankee is a slur. Why do they think that? Because somebody told them that on the internet. These are people who never heard the term Yankee in real life, don't live by nobody in the Caribbean, don't know anybody, like not from New York, probably never met a West Indian a day in their life, but are making up all this stuff. Like, I don't even know what to call it. What are we doing here? We're talking about the FBA hate cult, and you're talking about Yankee. Lord have mercy. Shout out to A-Frame for coming through with 10 jewels. Thank you for coming through with that triple up. For tripling up. Oh, Vegeta, you just made a great point. I didn't even know that. I didn't even realize that. The New York Yankees is a slur against FBA. It's a slur against FBA. Woo. Yeah, let's get back to this. Let's let him finish up, because we Naps just sent us something that I really want to cover.
It's being framed. That's how your story is being told right now. I'm telling you, these midterm elections came up, and everybody's now got something to say about this. It makes me wonder. I'm not putting any accusations on you, sir, but it makes me wonder why the timing of this is happening. Why it's happening so ferociously. Tasha K. Oh, those FBA.
They hate Africa. They hate Africa. They hate it with a passion.
No, they don't.
Oh, them dirty Africans and them dirty Africans. I don't want to be a dirty African and this and this and this and this and this and this.
I heard a Haitian girl say dirty black Americans, but I've really never seen the podcast where they're talking about these dirty Africans that they like to imagine. This is the conversation they imagine is happening.
So Tariq you never heard Tariq say stuff like that? You are a liar. See, this is why I have no respect for nobody who's FBA. This is IDP babble, but we're going to give this IDP like maybe another 2 minutes, and then we're going to move on. Exactly, Cap. You never heard nobody say dirty African. Lord have mercy. You already know 27 rings, all meant to disrespect FBA. We didn't even know it. I used to live by Yankee Stadium. I didn't even know that was a monument to disrespecting FBA. I did not know that.
Black Americans grew up with reverence for Africa, like more so than the first generation immigrants that were here, quiet as kept, because a lot of Black Americans ended up moving over there or retiring over there. So now somehow you, Black Americans, are the issue. You hate Africa. That's what he wants you to believe.
Like, they really, really hate it, right? So it's people like them that I've noticed watching on the internet that usually kind of say, oh, I'm FBA. Now, FBA stands for Foundational Black American. But again,
that's everybody now.
That's too large of an umbrella. Why do I say this? Let's look at the reparations.
It's too large of an umbrella for you all. Something that you've chosen for yourself, it's too large of an umbrella.
I'm going to let Charles define FBA and see if I agree with his definition of FBA, and then we're going to move on because we can't keep doing this.
Bring it back a little step or two. Take it down a notch or two. You don't get to pick that, sir. Once again, these are grown adults making decisions for themselves. You don't get to tell them nothing. Capiche? In New Yorker, you got to say capiche, right? Because Italians didn't delineate from y'all. They from Africa too.
Movement. Well, who is reparations intended for? Reparations is intended for descendants of slaves.
Right. You got that?
An individual like myself would not qualify for.
It's enslaved, and it depends on what reparations you're talking about. Because reparations, as far as HR 40 is concerned, and as far as actual people get out here and push reparations every day, not the FBA hate cult, reparations is bigger than that. It's bigger than just it's bigger than just slavery.
Reparations, because
bingo,
I'm a first generation American. It's those that can trace their lineage back to slavery. So one of the things that always confused me was this. If you're for reparations, how can you then be anti-African? I never understood it. How? How can you say,
I'm gonna let them go.
I deserve reparations and my ancestors were enslaved, because those were slaves taken from West Africa, but then I hate Africans?
See, he ain't got the updated software yet. He don't even know the conversation that's happening right now.
One, enslaved, the slave trade touched every part of Africa, not just West Africa. And on top of that, the reason why they hate Africans so much is, again, because they was taught to hate Africans. That's it. And they don't believe, a lot of the FBAs don't believe in the slave trade. That's another thing that makes it so funny. They want reparations for slavery, but reparations for slavery is going to go to those who are the descendants of enslaved Africans. It's not going to go to no imaginary Aboriginal group. So how can you say you want reparations and you're running around claiming to be some type of Aboriginal? Like, it doesn't make sense.
Me personally, I do not deny that I have African ancestry. Pretty much everybody.
You said you personally. That means you know that there are FBAs who do that. Like, don't try to wiggle out of it. Confront what he's saying.
Everybody on earth has African ancestry.
A weirdo FBA lie. Like, when we say African, we talking about black. Like, stop playing games.
That's what we're saying. The conversation has moved. It's evolved. And you just saying, okay, black skin, African. But you only do that with Black Americans. You don't do it with Aboriginals in Australia. You don't do it with Fijians. You don't do it with even Brazilians or South Americans of any kind that might be black. It's just us. There's a lot of energy focused on Black Americans. Right?
Another lie. Another lie. And second, you just said black people started the Pan-Africanist movement. If black people in America started the Pan-Africanist movement, wouldn't that mean that black people in America was the ones focusing on Africa and making themselves African? And so if you're going against that now, you're doing something new? Like, come on.
Right now. I wonder why.
It makes no sense to me. But then I've heard the retort, oh, wait a minute. No, there were blacks here before. There were blacks from this, and blacks from this group and that group. I've heard Indians, whatever. And I'm not arguing with you about that. Okay, I'm not willing to say,
no, I would argue with them about that. It's not true. It's a lie. They made it up. It's all lies. There's no evidence to back up any of that. Like, again, people got to stop letting people make claims without producing any evidence. They are making claims and they have no evidence to back it up. None. But yeah, let's keep going.
It's my business to argue with you about that. My issue is, if you're for reparations, how can you then not be African?
In order to make sense of what you're saying, is you're saying that only Africans that were enslaved would be entitled to this. If you're saying you're something other than African, or that you are an admixture of several different groups and African, that you weren't enslaved. This is someone who doesn't have a pure understanding of the people that he's talked to. This is why we hear so many times Black Americans don't have any culture, because they just assume they know more than you, when nothing could be further from the truth. This is why y'all need to do a lot more shutting up and a lot more listening.
How? We're talking about those that were part of the slave trade. That's number one. Number two, the thing that I've noticed that I have to table here. You look at this thing of saying that, oh, wait a minute, I'm foundational black. I'm foundational black. If you're not from here, then you can't be foundational. It's only through your lineage. I recently heard someone say that Drake is not an FBA, and I was confounded by that, because if his lineage based, his father's African American. So how can he not be a foundational Black American when his father is? Then some.
I mean, I think the question gets asked because Drake is actually Canadian, but
the fact that he has Canadian citizenship is immaterial to a lineage. A lineage is a bloodline. Your bloodline don't change based on where you're born. It doesn't change on where you're born, where you live, what you believe, how you look. That's not how lineage works. That's not how lineage works. I'm so happy I made that point about Drake. And I watch other people make that point. I'm so happy. I'm so happy because that's the gotcha of all gotchas. I know you didn't just say this. You might need to I think you need to go do some soul searching after you just put this comment up. I'm happy I didn't put you on timeout. I'm happy because again, you wasn't being disrespectful, but you was engaging with the content. But look what he just said. It's lineage based, not the totality of the ethnicity. Lord have mercy. So who's the progenitor of the lineage? Who is the progenitor of the lineage? Because for what you have said to be true, there has to be a progenitor. Who is the progenitor of the lineage? Genghis Khan? Like, oh, Lord have mercy. You can't make this up. Exactly. Tariq, blood and land. Vlad violated him by asking him that question. Shout out to East Coast Kev for coming through with the 10. I seen it too because that red pill stuff is starting to die out. So they got to find a way to so they got to move on to a new grift. The new grift is FBA. The new grift is FBA.
I would say Drake does qualify to be foundational Black American because of his father's lineage. So you heard one person's perspective or several people's perspective, and you thought that was the only perspective.
There can't be multiple perspectives on this. It's a lineage. It's a bloodline. There is no such thing as multiple perspectives. Either somebody's a part of the bloodline or they're not. Like it's a yes or no question. It's 2 + 2 = 4. There is no perspectives on that. There's no perspectives on a bloodline.
This is what I'm talking about here. There's no nuance. He doesn't want to know. He wants to be frustrated here by a question about Drake. Like, Drake, is Drake asking for reparations? Like, Drake hasn't advocated for anything politically, honestly. So why is Drake such a pressing issue in this one? Because a lot of people that are first and second generation immigrants, you saw this during the Kendrick battle, they sympathize with Drake's situation. They see themselves in Drake's situation. That's why Drake keeps coming up in this conversation, and it's not even a question.
Oh, bringing up the Kendrick battle like Tariq does. They Not Like Us was not an FBA xenophobic anthem. I'm sorry. Yep. Foundational groups. So y'all group now. Yeah, I'm about to get off this. Shout out to everybody in the building. We about to get off this. I'm gonna let Dreamerspro, aka Charles, aka Dreamerspro, finish up, and then we out of here. We've been on this long enough. Shout out to the Black Merlin for coming through with this. But yeah, we've been on this long enough.
To ask right now, who cares what Drake is?
Somebody said, no, it has to be both of your parents. And then I said, what the f are you talking? You're just making up stuff here. Says who?
Somebody says. Was that person knowledgeable?
That's not how it works, folks. If there's lineage,
you get mad about
then
Drake.
You have both of your parents. But then I've also heard people say, no, it's just one parent.
Yeah.
They're like, so if it's just one parent, wouldn't Drake qualify? Then they'll turn, oh, no. It has to be two parents. So I don't.
And see, this is conversation that needs to be had, because they're going off the rules that Sandy Darity made. William Sandy Darity came out with the book From Here to Equality. He came up with a theory that
I read that book. It's actually a good book. It's mainly like a history book, if you want to be honest. It's a good book, From Here to Equality. Sandy Darity is a grifter too, by the way. Don't get it twisted. He knew FBA was ADOS was a bunch of bozos from the beginning. He used them for money and clout. Sandy Darity has gotten a bigger name and gotten more money by grifting ADOS than anything else. And he violated them in the end, just like I said he was gonna do. I told people, I said, listen, Sandy Darity is smart enough to know FBA is ADOS is a fraud. He just gonna use them for money and clout, and then he gonna violate them at the end. And that's exactly what happened. Exactly what happened. Shout out to East Coast Kev for coming through with another 5. Exactly. See, again, how is this a lineage and y'all don't even got how is this an ethnic group lineage or anything like that if y'all don't even know who is who? Y'all don't even know who is who. Like the debates y'all having about who is who, yeah, it's not even like philosophical. Like y'all really don't know who is who. It's not like, oh, this is philosophical. Like, well, if you don't know the culture, are you really a part of the group? See, that's a philosophical debate. Nobody's arguing about whether you're a part of the group genetically. Y'all not even up to that point where y'all having philosophical debates. Y'all can't even get the literal definition of who is FBA right. Who is and who is not FBA right. Make sure y'all salute and East Coast Kev too for coming through. Salute East Coast Kev. Always coming through with fire content too.
Determined who was eligible for reparations. It was a theory, and it still is a theory. It's a good theory. The one-parent rule. Some people do not agree with that. That's why you're getting pushed back. Because of Drake's Canadian citizenship and him being raised in Canada, there are people that say, all right, well, he would have to come along later and ask for reparations as opposed to just being qualified as an American citizen would. That muddies the waters on the Drake discussion entirely. But it's not final either way, because we're not even at that point, because we're arguing with other Black immigrants about this. We can't even get to the real discussion because it's so many of these conversations happening. It's so much pushback. That's why you get so many people that sound extreme. They're constantly fighting. They're constantly arguing with people who are willfully ignorant, who are being willfully ignorant to their plight. And that's how we get here.
And I think that this is an effect of slavery.
I'm gonna end it here. I might cover this on the rest of this another time. I'll end it here because I don't want to keep going on with this. But this bozo just acknowledged that they have not even gotten to the point. Again, this is supposed to be a group of FBA is supposed to be a group of over 40 million people that existed for over 400 years, but y'all have not even gotten to the point of deciding who is and who is not FBA because y'all too busy arguing with Black immigrants on the internet. He just said that. He just said we haven't even had the conversation of who is and who is not FBA because we too busy arguing with Black immigrants on the internet. You can't make this up. He said that. You can't make this up. You cannot make this up. Who is that? Who said I don't hate Black women? When did I ever say I hate Black women? I hope you're talking to somebody else in the chat room. I hope you're not talking to me because I definitely do not hate Black women. I am the chief defender of the Black woman. Shout out to the Boogeyman for coming through with the $4.99. Much appreciated. Yes, he said that. Yeah, just like he said, Black people who ran away to Canada to get free from slavery ain't FBA. Totally killed the whole lineage conversation. He killed the lineage argument multiple times, saying Drake ain't FBA, saying the people who ran away to Canada ain't FBA, saying New Orleans ain't FBA, disrespecting New York, attacking the Black American diaspora, Liberia, all that. But yeah, we gonna get off this. We're gonna get off this. Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to everybody in the building. Again, my point has been proven. I'm happy this dude said that. We don't even know. They haven't even had because I used to say that all the time. Y'all haven't even had the conversation about who is and who is not FBA. He just said, we have not just had the conversation about who is and who is not FBA because we're too busy arguing Black immigrants. I'm happy you acknowledge that. That's how it was when y'all first started. Y'all did not have the conversation. Y'all did not have this conversation amongst yourselves. This is the same thing when I said about reparations. Y'all have not had the conversation about what is reparations. Y'all have not had the conversation about who is eligible for reparations. You have not. But you want to do this. But anyway, we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on. Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to Naps for sending me this. Shout out to Naps for sending me this. For all you don't know, there's a bunch of bozo aboriginals inside of a Black high school, I think in Mississippi somewhere, teaching the Black kids that they are really aboriginals. Like, you can't make this up, bro. You can't make this up. Let's get into this. Let's get into this.
Something different just to make the
it's music. Let's see.
The true Americans shining brighter than
I don't know if I could play this because this is music. Let me see.
label us black. That's not what we are.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play it for the edification of the people. I'm gonna play it. Hopefully, the most that could happen, which I don't want to happen, is that it just whatever the stream, it copyrights the stream. But I hope it don't take it down altogether. But we're gonna play this.
They label us black, that's not what we are. We the true Americans, shining brighter than stars. We ain't Africa, nah. Don't put us in chains. We the sons of this land, running deep in our veins. Colonizers lie, try to switch up the script. Call us something different just to make the truth flip. But the drums still beat.
Look, again, in the music that they playing, the dude is denying that they Africans and denying that slavery even happened. That's another reason why it was so easy to wipe out the pretendians. Because the pretendian will tell you slavery didn't happen, they not Africans, but then we'll turn around and talk about reparations. Because if the white man never enslaved y'all and y'all not from Africa, what do the white man owe you reparations for? What does the U.S. government owe you reparations for? You can't make this up, man. You said, shout out to Naps. Because I was looking this up. You told me it was in Mississippi. I'll try to look it up. It's not Mississippi. I was about to say, because when I typed this into Google, the only school that came up by this name was one in Memphis. So yeah, this might be, yeah, you're right. It might be the one in Memphis. I was gonna ask you that too. I was gonna say, is this really Mississippi? Because I can't find it in Mississippi. Yes. In Memphis. I can't believe that. Memphis is one of my favorite Black cities of all times. I've never been to Memphis, but I just love Memphis. I believe that if Memphis was the size of Houston, it would probably be the most important Black city in America. So much talent, so much history, so much culture, so much everything coming out of Memphis. It's hurt me for me to see this in Memphis. This hurt. Of all places, Memphis. All places, Memphis. But yeah, let's get back to this.
And the spirits still sing. We the wild Indians. Let the ancestors.
Look at this. And this school is supposed to be on some Black stuff. They got the Ethiopian flag. They got the Ghanaian flag. But they're going to let these bozos in the building to talk to the kids. See, that's another thing. How much nonsense has been snuck into the pro-Black spaces under the guise of being pro-Black. But when the people start talking, they ain't nothing pro-Black about them. They ain't talking no Black stuff. This is the same thing how the California Task Force for Reparations got co-opted. Why? Because one of the girls one of the women who was on the task force watched the YouTube video hearing Tone Talks talk about reparations, and she invited him in, not knowing what ADOS was. All she did was hear Tone Talks talk about reparations. She invited him in, and then the rest is history. They co-opted the whole task force and they ran it into the ground. This is how that happens. Exactly. Tomato. Oh, my fault. I didn't mean to click on you. We done with you. You exposed yourself already. Have a nice day.
We the wild in the end, you know what it is.
Let me see this. Somebody got to contact this school. I'm gonna take a picture right now. Let me get my phone. Take a picture of this. I'm taking a picture of this. I'm contacting this school. I'm telling them about this. What's this? Dr. Emery? That's the name? I can't even see. That Emery? Yeah. The principal? Yeah. You're gonna have to give an account for this. Ain't no way. You brought these bozos into the school to talk to the kids. And you wonder why we losing, man. People wonder why we losing. It's right there for you. But Leah, let's go through this a little bit. Look, Cope, Black Americans will never be Africans. Look, like I said, white people getting in on the grift now. White people getting in on the grift right now.
True indigenous Black American from this land. There is a coordinated effort of Africa, just like Black Americans aren't.
Look, I told y'all. And you know what's so funny? Somebody probably paid him to say this. Just like they did voiceover Pete.
Africa, just like Black Americans aren't connected to Africans ethnically. The actual American Indian, known as the Black Americans, are the ethnic group of North America, not descendants of Africans. Let's dismantle the greatest public relations fraud ever committed.
And they couldn't even hire a white man who wasn't zesty. What I tell you about FBA? I told y'all, man. What I tell you about these FBAs and their connection to the LGBTQ community. They act like they anti-LGBTQ, but every time you turn around and you deal with them, there's LGBTQ coming around. They act like they pro-black, but every time they talk, there's something anti-black coming out their mouth. They debate and switch for real.
Racial campaign to erase the true indigenous Black American from this land. There is a coordinated effort, a relentless lie, designed to make Black Americans believe they are a guest in someone else's house. But the unchangeable archaeological and historical truth is that Black Americans are the foundation. They were here first. And by here, I mean the world, every country, every strip of land. And they built the civilization that we are all destroying. The lie about Africa is to confuse and mislead
So if this is another thing I told y'all. See, look, there we go right there. I told y'all. I said these bozos will sit up here and say we the original indigenous. We was the original Vikings. We was the original Romans. We was the original Chinese. We was the original samurai. We was the original Hindus. We was the original Arabs. We was the original Mayans. We was the original Aztecs. We was the original Moors. Not Moors, excuse me. We was the original Italians. We was the original Greeks. We was the original Anglo-Saxons. We was the original Germans. These dudes is the original everything but Africans. You just heard what this dude said. Black people are all around the world. They established all the civilizations. This is all our stuff. We didn't come, and we not no Africans. So how y'all everything but Africans? These dudes is literally just look. I'm gonna rewind that. See, I told y'all. People be thinking I be lying and I be exaggerating when I be saying the claims that these people be making. He literally just claimed. This white dude speaking for the FBAs, the pretendians, literally just claimed that the whole world and all the civilizations around the world are black, but the black people in America have no connections to Africans. So the black people in America got connections to the Chinese, the Hindus, the Arabs, the Mongols, the Fijians, Everybody except Africa. Connected to everything but Africa. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. This is insane. Shout out to the visionary for coming through with the 199. A whole lot of ones beat a whole lot of nuns any day of the week. Yes, and this is very disrespectful to Native Americans. Very disrespectful. That's why I do not entertain that pretendian talk, because that is super disrespectful. Because I would never want nobody to entertain any type of talk like this or an equivalent type of talk against me as a black person. I would never. I would never. Never. I would never. No, they don't even claim Egypt no more because Egypt is too black for them. Remember, they used to claim Egypt hard body to fight with white people about it being a black civilization and stuff. But now they don't even want to claim Egypt no more because it's too black. They don't even claim Egypt no more. It's too black. They definitely don't claim Nubia. That's definitely too black. So they don't even claim Egypt no more. They don't even claim Egypt no more. They don't even claim the Moors no more. The Moors is too black for them to claim. Only person still trying to claim the Moors a little bit is Tariq Nasheed, because he got a DVD talking about how, and on his website talking about how we FBA is made up of Moorish explorers. That's one of the three groups that had ethnogenesis together on the plantation. Can't make this up. Lord have mercy. Exactly. They was the original everything, bro. They was the original Atlanteans. You got FBAs right now claiming to be Atlanteans, bro. These IDPs is the original everything, bro. Ain't nothing that they not the original of. Nothing. Exactly, Fahima. You are correct. Exactly. The funny part is, I heard about that book, and I think Sandy Darity mentioned that book in his book, but I never read that book. But I did read From Here to Equality. It is a good book. I'm not gonna hold you. But oh my God. They need beyond a hard slap to the face. Beyond a hard slap to the face. Woo. Main character syndrome. This is beyond main character syndrome. You are one. That's why I said this dude is probably voiceover Pete. If I probably look this dude up right now, I could get him to say to pay him to do a voiceover. I'm pretty sure. If not, he just saying, like, he probably thinking to himself, well, these niggas is this stupid to believe all this. Maybe I can grift them, because black people who are stupid enough to believe all this also believe in white validation. Because if you ever notice, all these FBA bozos talk about the white man, the white man, the white man, the white man. As soon as they find a white man that agree with them, they make him, they start worshiping him like Jesus Christ returning. You ever notice that? As soon as they find a white person that agree with them, they start worshiping him like Jesus Christ returning. Shout out to Purcell for coming through with the $4.99 super sticker. Much appreciated. Make sure y'all saluting everybody coming through, supporting monetarily. Family, remember, you can also support PayPal, Cash App, Venmo. I take it all. Whole lot of ones beat a whole lot of nuns any day of the week. I also take the support of fire emojis. I also take the support of just commenting, hitting the reaction heart. Salute. But yeah, let's keep it going.
The theft can keep going on. Black Americans weren't even considered African American until 1988 by Jesse Jackson, a known Cherokee Indian. So they'll pay a Black American leader to lie and sell out while classifying himself correctly despite the lie. If Black Americans came from Africa by boat in the 1600s, America didn't figure this out until 1988? And this isn't just a white lie. This is a lie woven by $5 pretendians, by secret treaties between immigrant groups, by decades of policy and propaganda, all aimed at one single goal.
Look, they talking about real Native Americans calling them $5 Indians. And also the term African American has been documented going back to the 1700s. Jesse Jackson did not create it. Yeah, I think Jesse Jackson is mixed. Like I think he I think the funny part is Jesse Jackson is one of the few real black people who actually got like a Cherokee grandmother or something like that. I think his grandmother was Cherokee. And that's the funny thing about the Pretendians too. Actual black people who can document that they got actual Native American ancestry don't deny Africa. It's only the people who can't show you no proof that they actually are indigenous to this land who deny it. Yeah, but let's keep it going.
Convincing the world that the original people of the soil simply do not exist. They have every story in the world about the false history. And then you ask for ship manifest and evidence of ships, and then suddenly they can't produce them. But they could show you evidence of the Titanic hundreds of feet under the ocean. They won't even show you the entirety of the Titanic under the water. Only a corner of this ship. They still parse that history. They have reclassified the true indigenous people, renamed you, and redrawn maps around you, hoping you would forget the land your spirit is made from.
Oh my God, man. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Somebody pointed it out. The Ghanaian flag is right there. Can't make this up. Lord have mercy. Man. They said this is the guest who was speaking to the kids. All right, good. I'm happy I got this. I'm about to bookmark this too. I'm happy I got this information. Because yeah, I definitely going on Monday morning. I will be, matter of fact, I don't even think I'm waiting till Monday. I will be emailing people and reporting this. I'm reporting this. Yeah, so it wasn't Memphis. Oh, see, they was lying. That's not the principal's name. See? Can't trust these shifty FBAs. They be lying. You can't trust these shifty pretendians. They be lying. Well, I'll find out who is who. I'll find out who put that on. We'll find out. What's this about? Let's see, what's this about?
Entity. We were the original Egyptians until the Arabs we were the original Indians until the Mongols stole our identity. We were the original Chinese until the Mongols stole our identity. We were the original Egyptians until the Arabs stole our identity. We were the original Arabs until the Turks stole our identity. We were the original Turks until the Arabs stole our identity. We were the original Moors until the Arabs stole our identity. We were the original Vikings until the white barbarians stole our identity. We were the original Greeks until the white barbarians stole our identity. We were the original Hebrews until the Khazars stole our identity. We were the original Russians until the serfs stole our identity. We were the original Hawaiians until the Asians, Chinese, Mongols stole our identity. We were the original Assyrians until the Arabs stole our identity. We were the original Minoans until the white Greeks and Romans stole our identity. We were the original Inca until the Asian Peruvians stole our identity. We were the original Aztecs until the Mexicans stole our identity. We were the original Mayans until the Mexicans stole our identity. We were the original English until the white Anglo-Saxons stole our identity. We were the original Irish until the white Anglo-Saxons stole our identity. We were the original UFO aliens until the little green aliens stole our identity. So we got our ass kicked by everyone, and everyone took our identity?
Yo, shout out to Indigenous Revolution. I'm happy he did that. Salute to Indigenous Revolution for doing that. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. You can't make this up. Oh, shout out to Mr. G for coming through with the $2. You already know it sounds like a paid for. It sounds like a paid for. it sound like a paid for. Like you can't make this up. You can't make this up, man. Shout out to you for coming through with that too. Whole lot of ones beat a whole lot of nuns any day of the week. Oh my God, man. Like this stuff is crazy. See, I told you I'm happy other people know that too, because a lot of times I'll be feeling like I'm the only person saying this. So I'm happy when I find other people saying it. See, I didn't make that up. That's something that they be running around saying. We was the original everything until somebody came and stole the identity. It was the original everything. Lord have mercy. Lord. Shout out to East Coast Cat for coming through with another 5. Make sure y'all saluting everybody coming through, man. Supporting the stream. Yes, but that's the thing. That was the whole reason for FBA even being set up, man. That's the whole reason for FBA even being set up. Was for that. Remember, I told you. I keep telling y'all. FBA is not only just a hate cult. It is a white nationalist psyop. It is a white nationalist psyop. White nationalist psyop. You said run it back? Yeah, I think we can run that back. I think we can run that back.
We were the original Indians until the Mongols stole our identity. We were the original Chinese until the Mongols stole our identity. We were the original Egyptians until the Arabs stole our identity. We were the original Arabs until the Turks stole our identity. We were the original Turks until the Arabs stole our identity. We were the original Moors until the Arabs stole our identity. We were the original Vikings until the white barbarians stole our identity. We were the original Greeks until the white barbarians stole our identity. We were the original Hebrews until the Khazars stole our identity. We were the original Russians until the serfs stole our identity. We were the original Hawaiians until the Asians, Chinese, Mongols stole our identity. We were the original Assyrians until the Arabs stole our identity. We were the original Minoans until the white Greeks and Romans stole our identity. We were the original Inca until the Asian Peruvians stole our identity. We were the original Aztecs until the Mexicans stole our identity. We were the original Mayans until the Mexicans stole our identity. We were the original English until the white Anglo-Saxons stole our identity. We were the original Irish until the white Anglo-Saxons stole our identity. We were the original UFO aliens until the little green aliens stole our identity. So we got our ass kicked by everyone, and everyone took our identity?
Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. See? I'm so happy I scrolled down. Let me continue to scroll down. Let me see if I can find something else. You can't make this up. Lord have mercy. Pseudo. Somebody claimed to have all this information. Pseudo. Let's see if we can find something else. Lord have mercy. Let me see. Oh, I would play this, but I don't know if I could play 60 minutes. I'll find out if I can play 60 minutes. I don't know if I could play them without it being an issue. But yeah, I'm out the. Oh, Lord have mercy. This is what we dealing with, man. This is what we dealing with, family. This is what we dealing with. So don't ever let nobody tell you that, oh, that I'm making it up. I'm being hyperbolic. I'm the only one saying this. No. This is what we dealing with. This is what we dealing with. You can't make this up, man. Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to everybody in the building. Oh, look. And speaking of Jesse Jackson, I just looked it up. Yes, it was the Cherokee roots come from his father's side of the family. It comes from his father's side of the family. Shout out to everybody in the building. Yeah. I think we can move on because it's like this is crazy. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy, man. You can't make this up, man. Shout out to East Coast Cav. Let me see something real quick. I think you did say you emailed me, so let me see. Let me see. Yeah, this is ridiculous, bro. I Lord have mercy. I don't even think I'm gonna be able to like even finish. I think I need a break behind that, man. I think I need a break behind that. Like I can't believe that I just like woosah. Like I can't believe this, man. Like I literally might need a break. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Shout out to everybody in the building. Let me see something real quick. Let me see something real quick. Wrong thing. Wrong thing. Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to everybody who donated, supporting the stream, everything. You know, got us one step closer to the goal. Let me see something. Let's see if this bozo took that down. I think he took that down. No, he didn't. No, he did. Shout out to everybody in the building. Oh, yeah, let's move on to this. Let's move on to this real quick. For all you who don't know, I was meaning to cover this video, but I kept getting pushed back. But I'm covering it today. This is Phil, the Vaush Show, a.k.a. Mexicano Phil, Felipe Phil. He's right now about to talk about that incident between the Nigerian brother and that Argentinian dude. Let's get into this.
Now, we know the World Cup has just finished, but, you know, they had matches actually in Atlanta. And Atlanta, as we know, is definitely a major Black American city. I love going to Atlanta. Shout out to all my brothers and sisters in Atlanta. But the people from Argentina went over there, and they're known to be the white supremacist hub of Latin America. This is the same place the Nazis went after World War II. This is the same country that drove out their Black population. They committed mass, unalivings and all this to Black people. And then when Black people, had to escape, they went up going to Chile.
Why do you care, Taco Phil? Why does Taco Phil care? Shout out to Be Active in the building. Yes, like why does he care? Why does Taco Phil care about the Black Argentinians?
Chile at the time period, and this place prides itself on their whiteness. And so every time people have been seeing Argentina, they've been, acting just plumb white supremacists, doing monkey sounds, doing every kind of white supremacist thing you could think of. And the world actually finally got to see Argentina for what it really is. It's not a place definitely I would want to visit. Not at all. Forget that place. But they decided to go to Atlanta with that mess. And they thought that They can try
Sitting around doing sound effects. Come on, man. Come on. I thought you was a news channel.
that mess like they think they can try in other countries, but no, when you run into the FBAs, yeah, that's gonna be a different problem. So let's go ahead and check this out real quick.
For all you who don't know, the dude he's about to show is not FBA. Like Tariq did a video, I think glazing. Yeah, he did do a video glazing this Nigerian brother, but I think Tariq took his video down. And a couple of FBAs did. But Phil is so lazy that one, not only did you take long to cover the issue, but now that it turns out that he's not FBA, you still got the video up.
Andrew, what the fuck is Andrew doing here? Order.
Yeah, you see, let me let you anti-black racists know something. I don't care what country you come from. When you come here to America, we're different. We're not gonna sit up here and let you talk crazy to us and we go along with it. Listen, and I'm not trying to talk down on the brothers and sisters in the African continent, but y'all go over there doing that and they put up with it. See over here.
Look how stupid he sound. The brother you talking about is not quote unquote FBA. He's not. He's Nigerian. And you talking down on Africans. Mind you, how many black people have been lynched so far and nobody ain't do nothing about it? Like, come on. Like, how much racism we've been seeing experience right now? Like, you talking about we don't put up with that. Chud the Builder was running around free, going crazy this whole time. And everybody was putting up with it. They were surely putting up with it. Chud the Builder would have still been running around this whole time doing what he been doing if he ain't crashed himself out by trying to shoot that brother at the courthouse. Like, come on now. Always trying to talk down on other people. Like, it can't even just be, oh, salute to this brother for standing up against racism. You gotta make it xenophobic. Oh, salute to this FBA brother for standing up, because you know how us FBAs do. We stand up. We don't let nobody just do anything to us. We not like them Africans. See, this is why FBA is xenophobic. This is what they do. And you gotta make everything about gotta make everything an attack on black immigrants. Gotta make everything an attack on the black diaspora.
As black Americans, part of our culture is fighting. Part of our culture is resistance. That's like encoded into our DNA. We're not going to let you or anybody come over here and think you're going to disrespect us. And definitely you think you're going to call us some racial slurs. That's not going to happen. And trust me, if you really wasn't in a restaurant, it would have been worse for you. Now, a lot of those people went back to their country and all that stuff. The World Cup is over, and that's great. Then people don't need to be here. And nothing in Argentina that black folks need lost or whatever. But Latin America and a lot of, I've seen Brazilians talking about this. A lot of people in Latin America say, I am so glad the world finally seeing Argentina for who it really is. We've been telling people for years about these people. They are the most anti-black racists out there in Latin America. And this is the same country that Trump recently sent a bunch of money to, our tax dollars. He wants to talk about sending tax dollars to other countries.
Oh, we got an FBA who got the courage to criticize Trump. Oh, I think we found one.
But he ain't got no problem sending it to the white supremacist hub of Latin America. Them people are true, what you call a white Hispanic. That's what they are. They are white Hispanic. You have to understand, Spain is a white country. I want y'all to know that. See, it's kind of been branded that when you say Spanish or whatever, the people that's the brown people and definitely them, they want to just label them as, Hispanic and all that. But the true Spanish is white. So the Spanish language is a white language. The language they're speaking in Latin America is a colonized language, no different than what we have been speaking here in America, a colonized language. So those people are the white Hispanics in Argentina. Those are, yes, white people speak Spanish. White people are considered quote unquote Latino. Yes. Just like they got black people who are Latino. Just like you got people who are indigenous over there in Latin America. All those different people. But yes, those are what you call a white Hispanic. Those right there, those are Argentina people.
All right. I'm tired of this IDP cope. Like, come on now. Like, you don't know what you're talking about. You're just saying stuff. Like, come on, man. Like, I'm just tired of this IDP cope. Like, keep going. We don't hate Mexicans. We calling him Mexicano Phil because he's married to a Mexican woman. That's why. Like, he spent his whole career remember, how did he get started? Attacking black women. And then when I had a conversation with him, because remember, Phil is the one who told me he was married to a Mexican. And I told other people. And then that's when he tried to lie and say she was a Mexican, she was Afro Latino, oh, he married to a black woman, and all this other stuff. And then he got exposed. That's why we call him that. But yeah, let's keep it going. And
I'm so glad the brothers had to check him, let them know this not gonna go down over here. You know, maybe you can get away with that in other countries. Maybe you get away with that in other countries of Latin America, and they let you do it. But over here, your color don't scare us here. We know, ooh, he white. I'm not gonna say nothing. Not here. This culture is I wish you would culture. That's a culture you coming to. In Atlanta, of all places, you pull that in Atlanta? Really? You couldn't do your homework for 5 minutes about where you were going? And thinking that would have been tolerated? And the only reason y'all been doing the racism you've been doing because a bunch of black people don't be in soccer matches like that. But I guarantee you, if there was some basketball, football, y'all went over there doing that, oh, you'd have a big problem. So yeah, keep that in Argentina where you come from. I'm a firm believer we don't need you here, and we don't want you here.
Like, oh my God, that was a waste of time. He's a bozo. But I want to show this. He talk about other people running scared of white people and stuff like that, and we fighting in our culture. Well, I challenge that IDP boy. I definitely challenge that because this dude is not fighting this white man. This white man done lynched this brother, and the other brother looking back at it and said, "See ya, wouldn't want to be ya. I'm out to the north." To the north. That don't look like no fighting to me. He gone. He's gone. He is gone. Like you can't make that up, man. Can't make that up. But we gonna get out of here. I definitely gotta go. I definitely got to go because it's like I'll probably be back later tonight, but I gotta go. I don't know if I gotta take a break. That indigenous nonsense blew my mind. It blew my mind. I can't. I'm sorry, family. I can't keep going. I can't keep going. I can't keep going. This is not a racist cartoon. This is a reality cartoon. It's a political cartoon showing about a time in history. I'm sorry if it offends you. Oh, shout out to AO in the building. Yeah, Phil don't stop. He don't stop. Tether is a slur. So yeah, I'm about to get up out of here. I can't keep doing this. I can't. I gotta take a break. Maybe I'll come back later tonight, or something. Like I gotta take a break. Like that just drained me. Shout out to Naps. I'm happy you sent that to me, but that that indigenous thing, just like, oh my God. That just fucked me up. But anyway, family, yeah, I'm getting out of here. Make sure shout out to everybody who came through. Or remember, you can support the stream, PayPal, Cash App, Venmo. My Venmo has been messing up. I called the Venmo people today. They said Venmo is messing up for everybody. So if you was trying to hit me on the Venmo and it just know it never went through. Only one time did somebody ever try to hit me on the Venmo and it went through. So, but they said they should have their stuff together this weekend or by Monday or whatever. So hopefully they do that. But Cash App and PayPal still popping. And remember, if you hit me up there, just let me know if you want me to salute you or not. You know, just make yourself known in the area, you know, in a little note. But yeah, let's get into this. Shout out to Khan Guru for coming through, setting it off with 500 jewels, giving me a watermelon. Thank you. I'll take that. Shout out to Milton for coming through with the 15. Salute to Milton Allen. Shout out to Henry Harris for coming through with the 250 jewels. Much appreciated. I take the laughing disco. Shout out to the Black Merlin for coming through with the 499. Also a member of the channel. Remember, family, you can hit that subscribe button and you can hit that join button for yourself. Thank you. Much appreciated. Yeah, because he's the one who let me know about that video going at Charles. Shout out to Mr. K for coming through with the 5 pounds. Shout out to A-Frame for coming through with the 10. Shout out to the TB for coming through with the 5. Shout out to Infinite for coming through with the 199 in the pounds. Much appreciated. Shout out to El Senora for coming through with the 199. Whole lot of ones beat a whole lot of nuns any day of the week. Shout out to A-Frame for coming through with another 5. Shout out to 2026 now for coming through with 10 jewels. Shout out to the Visionary for coming through with the 199. Shout out to Justin March for coming through, gifting 20 memberships. My first moderator, family. If Justin March gifted you a membership, make sure you thank him and make sure you keep it going. Keep it going. And you can go hit that join button for yourself. Shout out to Justin March again for doubling up with $2, helping me get one step closer to my goal. Shout out to A Firm for coming through with 10 jewels for the triple up. Shout out to East Coast Kev for coming through with the 10. Shout out to East Coast Kev for coming through with the 5. Shout out to the Boogeyman for coming through with the 499. Shout out to the Visionary for coming through with the 199. Whole lot of ones beat a whole lot of nuns. Shout out to Purcell for coming through with the 499 sticker. Super sticker, I take that. Shout out to Mr. G for coming through with the 2. Shout out to East Coast Kev for coming through with the 5. Family, we almost hit the goal today. We didn't hit it, but it's fine. We got close enough. Shout out to everybody who supported other ways, because there's other ways to support other than just monetary. Viewing is a support. What else is a support? Hitting the reaction art, dropping a comment, sharing the video, liking it, thumbsing up. All that is support. I appreciate it all. Oh, shout out the Sky Pablo for coming through with 5 jewels. Treat. Yeah, I take that treat. Much appreciated. Let me see. Yeah, thank you, Tony Bands. Thank you. Oh, Dr. Carpy in the building. Coming through right at the end. Who is that? I'm a Grifton Tether, and you're blocked. How's that sound? You're blocked. There we go. Get you up out of here. Shout out to President Jafar. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. But yeah, family, I'm out of here. Make sure y'all go subscribe to all my channels. Hopefully I can come back later tonight and do some more streaming. I might not be able to do it, but if I can, I can. If I can't, I can't. And on that note, family, peace.